Should I follow a rule that doesn't exist? So I work at a big bulk goods store. One you pay a membership for. Think the one with the $1.50 hot dogs. This company has an employee handbook. Every rule we must follow as employees is written in this handbook. Now, I like to wear hoodies. They're comfy, kinda cute, and they keep me warm as sometimes my job gets cold. One day I'm wearing a hoodie and the HR lady sees it. She sent a text to my direct manager to tell me I cannot wear it and to remove it IDK. Instead of telling me herself? I'm a person who likes knowing my rights. So I get to work and read that handbook front to back. While there are clothing restrictions, no swear words on your clothes. No open-toe shoes. No crop tops. Absolutely nowhere does it say anything about sweaters, hooded or not. A few weeks go by, and I'm just waiting for someone to say something as I continue to wear my hoodies. Finally, the warehouse manager, big boss lady, says, "Hey, do you know you shouldn't be wearing the hoodie? You need to remove it." To which I obviously reply, "Oh, I did not know hoodies were not allowed. Can you show me in the handbook where it says this?" To nobody's surprise, she could not. She then tried to say, "Well, the VP of operations for this area doesn't like employees wearing them. So we are enforcing that." Like, sorry, no, I don't work for some guy I've never seen. I work for this big corporation that has an entire rule book printed out for every employee. If it's not in that book, it's not a rule I will be following. I haven't heard anything against my hoodies since. IDK. Why I wanted to tell this story. I guess just know your rights. Edit. I am a white man. So even though these people could absolutely have a racist agenda against hoodies, I'm not sure it was a factor for me. My department has no hazards for wearing a hoodie. The only departments that do are ones someone with my job would not be found in. I never wear the hood over my head while on the job. That's unprofessional, especially when dealing with members. If I'm on break or outside, I'll sometimes pull the hood up. I am in Canada. I won't be getting fired for this anytime soon as our employee protections are pretty good. Plus I'm on the good side of a lot of managers, all of whom are against the warehouse manager and her nonsense and would never let anything bad happen to me for reprisals, including my own manager who'd be the first one to back me up. Lastly, as for the irony, and I don't work for some guy I've never seen, I have met our CEO. He's a pretty chill guy and I respect him. I've seen hoodies and sweaters prolifically at my area Costco's. Weird local power trip. Way to go. My Costco employees wear hoodies all the time. Keep wearing it, I'd say. Anytime you play a game, and yes, employment is a game, you need to know the rules. Thanks for an example of why. Then the VP of operations can tell you themselves that your hoodie makes them cry. I support you unless you're in an area where you're regularly around forklifts or heavy machinery, like the meat slicers, etc. My friend is a paramedic and has seen people get messed up by equipment because extra parts of their clothes get sucked up or snagged, etc. Even then though, that should definitely be in the handbook, and I doubt that you're working in that kind of environment from your description. Great example of working to rule. Nice job. Edit typo. If your Costco branch unionized? If so, you shouldn't worry, but it's worth consulting with your shop steward anyway. If not, you work for a union-friendly employer. Start one. Hoodies are the norm in winter months at our Costco's. I think your regional is just trying to class it up, but the handbook doesn't allow him to do that. Stand your ground. Demand a written policy as evidence. Keep hoodieing on. If it's not written down, it's not a rule to follow. This advice also serves to help to protect you from liability if you did something not the PNP and somebody got hurt. If the regional VP has a problem, he can update the local handbook. Our CEO hates hoodies and hats and won't let us wear them. But I can buy one from our little employee swag store for $45. I have seen Costco employees in BC wearing hoodies and nobody seems to have a problem. Keep being comfy. Don't you just love power trip assholes like that? Any written rule is a rule, and anything I feel like making in the moment is also a rule. Ya no effin' way, you psycho. This trend of employers thinking they can dictate more and more of our personal choices for us is bullshit and should be defied at all costs. You doing the job effectively should be the only thing they have say over. Yeah, no, wear that hoodie proud. Where does it say ORNE VP of Operations pet peeves in the manual? Oh wait, it's not there or in any manual. I once got dinged on a phone call review audit for an employee's failure to include call recording disclosure. I immediately emailed the client's auditing team, gotta have that paper trail, and asked them to point out where, in their scores of pages of rules, did they have a requirement for this? The response was a half-hearted, well, it's just something everyone should do, and I replied with a CC to the VP that I was not going to take the negative mark for failing to comply with a non-existent standard. Of course, 3 months later their updated work standards included the requirement. But we at least didn't get dinged in the interim. I've worked in several warehouses for close to 15 different warehouse managers over the years and never had one tell me I couldn't wear a hoodie. That's crazy. Dress code is pretty straightforward in the employee handbook. Go by that and you'll stay out of trouble. One thing I used to always tell my employees was, I don't make the rules. I work for Costco and my paycheck and name badge say Costco. I go by what the company says I need to do. I refuse to enforce bullshit that wasn't in the employee handbook or union handbook. Which is why I'm not in management anymore. Lol. Try and find an email address for corporate level HR and ask them what to do. I'm in the PNW and I've seen them wear goodies at that store. Sounds like Peo Zero La on a power trip. She sent a text to my direct manager to tell me I cannot wear it and to remove it IDK. Instead of telling me herself? For the record, this is much better than her doing your manager's job. As an ex-retail manager, it's extremely frustrating to have people in other departments step in to tell your people to do stuff, don't do stuff. Weird, cool and all. Hope you're not in a right-to-work state that has no worker protections. Out of curiosity, I checked our employee handbook. No mention about dress code whatsoever. Time to start testing? Grin. Enforcing what? It isn't a rule, so what are they enforcing? I've noticed this about employee handbooks. No one cares about them. It's as though they write them because someone said they had to. And they're never updated. I'm glad you stood up for yourself. This kind of stuff happens all the time. I'm not sure why people try to make up rules on the fly. Especially rules that don't affect your ability to do your job or affect your productivity. I don't give a crap if you're wearing jeans and a hoodie at Costco as a customer. As long as it's clean and not like your raggedy garage clothes, because there needs to be some level of clothing expectation at any workplace. I know you guys get dirty, cold, and do a lot of lifting. I'm just glad you're there to help when I need it. Knowing your rights is the single most important thing a person can do if they want a better workplace experience. Thanks for the share. Not liking hoodies? As a nearing retirement white guy, I call racism. Costco's are freezing. Keep wearing that hoodie. Good for you for standing your ground. It's nice when the people win.